you so much, Gokul, for being with us on the Startup Central show today. So, to begin with, could you take us through the business model of CynLr and the product and the service offerings by the company?
So, just to begin with, we are a technology building company, and the way we go to the customer now and the market right now is to have a three-pronged access to the customer. So we sell the technology as a platform, which is a robotic arm setup that will go to the customer as a hardware platform along with a software license, and then we will support the customer with a solution engineering around the whole system, and then we also have services on top of that system. So basically, you can think of like the Apple iPhone as a hardware put into the customer's pocket. Then you have development of applications on top of it as one service, and the apps store and apps as another service. These are two services associated with it. And then we have on hardware business sales, that hardware sales, hardware product sales along with licenses. So that's how we are approaching that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and congratulations on the Cyro launch at the Boston Summit. But could you also explain to us what this all-purpose reusable visual robot platform that you call Cyro is for? How does it operate? How does it help? Which industries does it help to? If you could take us through that journey with you.
Thank you so much. We are launching our versatile robot platform, which we named it as Cyro, which is a short form of cybernetic robot, at the Boston Robotic Business Report, the session there, the exhibition there. What we predominantly focus on is this is a layer of the business that often is not in a preview for the common public and people who actually understand this. Today, the way automation happens is a lot more rigid, right? So people automate robots for using robots or without robots, using machines for multiple different reasons. And specifically for more than as a labor replacement, it's specifically for the consistency of outcome and where you can produce the product in a very effective way. But that said, the limitations that the customer face when it comes to automation is it is not repurposable and reusable the moment the shapes and dimensions of the object changes, right? So for example, you have a car and a car's model actually changes. Let's say for every 2 years, you're upgrading the car or you're changing some models, facelift and so on and so forth, or some parts has to be changed. Unlike the common belief, the nature of the part doesn't change, but the dimensions of the part constantly keep changing, even within the customer's place. Now, if you notice, beyond welding and painting as applications in these car manufacturing places, all the assembly of the parts is still manual across the globe. And you have witnessed the problems that GM and Ford faced in US in the past. So that also is, they're the largest automating market with automation savvy, robot savvy market, but at the same time, they're also the largest employers of blue collar amongst the organized sector. Construction is largely unorganized, agriculture is also, but among the organized sector, automotive manufacturing and electronics manufacturing are one of the largest, blue collar enablers or job creators. At the same time, that shows how much it's unautomated yet, contrary to the common perception. Now, to be able to automate them, you need a robot system that has all the capabilities of human movements, ability where the human being is able to move in a way very similar to an alternative take is humanoids on one side, but we have a little intuitively different take on the way humanoids have to be. You need a movement, an ability to observe from various different angles and then guide your hands to do any kind of task. And the robot must be able to adapt to any kind of objects, grasp any kind of human pickable objects, be it your keychain to your headphones to your, let's say, a car part. The same robot should be able to handle it. Today, that's not possible. Today, if you have to go from, let's say, a nut from a screw that you have to pick and then put it into a screw hole, that first of all is unautomatable. And even if you do an automation of that, where a screw can be picked and then put into a screw hole or a thread hole, between an 1 mm screw and a 4 mm screw, you have to change the hardware extensively, right? 70% of your hardware would look different, or your automation will look different. What we are trying to do is to simplify the whole layer. And what you're bringing in is a bunch of features that are very much human-like, where just like a baby, irrespective of whatever the objects that you feed in front of the robot, the robot can go pick and handle them without any prior training. So that's the significant or a key milestone achievement that we have with the technology in our product, right? So that's the form factor. Possibly we will have some shots of how the robot looks too. So
I'm going to dive a little deeper into your numbers here. If you could also take us through the revenues and the margins of the last financial year, and what do the targets for this financial year look like for you as a company?
So our first step goal was to standardize hardware. So in 5 years, what I would anticipate is what PC has, analogically, if you want to see, what PC has, personal computers have done in standardizing compute platform is what we would want to achieve, where agnostic of applications, we want to have few lines entirely being operated from the same type of robots without any infrastructure being there. Okay? That simplification is the first goal that simplification proof of manufacturing is one thing that we want to look at. Similarly, from a vertical expansion point of view, we are looking to go into warehouses. Warehouse automation is the next significant space that we are looking at outside of discrete manufacturing. And we also want to look into white goods and life sciences, and space tech is the other segments that we are trying to scale into. So this is from a sector point of view, and the transformation that we want to see further is to businesses should start thinking to design from uniform lines point of view than customizing to the objects, right? Independent of their type of products that they're handling or parts that they're handling, they should be able to design the automation. Or the manufacturing. That's the first goal that we are looking at. Now, technically, so today we have a 3-arm system, which replicates a human capability, but we do not have multiple finger systems, which will translate us from handling just metallic rigid parts or plastic parts to even handling wires and fabric. So that is the next upgrade that we're looking to. And today you still need an engineer to go and program this, and it takes 3 months for us to translate one solution today, an entirely new solution, starting from scratch, which we want to translate to a week in next 5 years' time. So within a week, someone should be able to onboard and push to a robot. Our ideal goal is a day, that the moment they bring in a robot, within a day, they can actually get it up and running and it can start being there. A 10-year goal for us will be an hour, within which they'll be able to kind of swap from completely different applications that they can actually move from. And that is where our major goals of revenue will come from. And the technology that is needed especially is including more compute capability, brain-like capabilities to the eye that we have, and more coordination, skin sensing, touch sensing that has to come to the robots that are not there today, which will also allow them to handle more complicated tasks, make them work dynamically without having to. Those are technical goals that we actually have, where 2 hands today cannot even understand where the other hands are, and they will go and collide. Even this has to be kind of very tightly engineered. We want the system to be more self-aware, right? So those are the revisions in which we'll keep going. So we'll keep giving more performance-oriented cameras. We will be adding more robots and robot capabilities, more sensory aspects. Our focus will be adding more and more sensor capabilities and more minute manipulation capabilities into the robotic arm. So this will be our next 5-year goals outside of the revenue.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.